Hi you guys! Today I'm going to be giving you a beginner's guide to ChatGPT and ChatGPT Plus. If you've never used either of these before, this is going to be a great video to fill you in on what ChatGPT is and how to use it. So have your phone on hand so you can follow along as we go through, and let's jump right in. So before we jump right into it, if you don't know what ChatGPT is, I'll give you a brief description. ChatGPT is an artificial intelligence that was created to create human-like conversational dialogue that uses natural language processing. So you have a bunch of different things that you can type into ChatGPT and get responses back. So some people use it to write entire essays. Some people simply want a question answered or maybe a piece of writing broken down. I'm going to go through all of these with you so that you can understand it better and you can use it without any problems. So for the first half of this video, I'm going to be going through ChatGPT, and then for the second half of the video, I'm going to be going over ChatGPT Plus. ChatGPT Plus is basically the premium version of ChatGPT, and I'll be going over what makes ChatGPT Plus better, the different features that it offers, etc. For now though, I'm going to show you guys how to create an account on ChatGPT, and to do this, you're simply going to search ChatGPT in your search browser. Hey you guys, if you're finding this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. This helps the channel to grow and for us to reach a larger audience. Thanks again, and let's get back to the video. So Apple has now created a ChatGPT app that you can download. However, the original way to use ChatGPT is to go to the ChatGPT website. So you're going to click on this ChatGPT link, and it's going to open up the Get Started page where you can either log in or sign up. So since I've already used it, I already have an account, but I'll show you how to sign up, which it's super duper easy. So you'll click sign up, and the only thing it's going to require to create an account for you is an email address and then a password to sign in with. So you'll type in your email address, you'll hit continue, and then you'll create that password. You can also continue with Google, with Microsoft, or with Apple to autofill in your information. However, if you already do have an account, you'll click log in, and you're going to simply just log in with that information that you used to create your account in the first place. So one thing I will point out with ChatGPT is that if you are not subscribed to the premium version, you're going to run into problems like this. So obviously ChatGPT is super popular now and a large majority of people are using it, and so the system is obviously going to get busy and it's going to crash or not allow you to sign in or go forward with what you want to do. It's an easy fix. You just have to wait a few minutes. Sometimes you'll have to go back and log in again or sign up. Okay, so now that I've been signed in, I am on the ChatGPT front page, which is essentially just a message thread that can begin at any time between me and the AI. If you look up at the top here, you'll see that it's ChatGPT 3.5. So when you see this, you know that this is the original ChatGPT and not the premium version. This is the free version. And then below this, you'll find a couple suggestions for you to say to the AI if you've never used it before. So these suggestions are explain nostalgia to a kindergartner, or create a content calendar for a TikTok account. Then when you click message ChatGPT, you can craft your own message. For first-time users of ChatGPT, you might be curious as to what you should say or what you can say. And so I'm going to give you guys a few popular examples so that you kind of get a good idea of ways to utilize ChatGPT in the best way. So the number one thing that people use ChatGPT for is text generation. For students, this could be generating a style of essay. This could be rewording something. So for my example, I'm going to ask ChatGPT to generate a poem for me. I'm asking ChatGPT to write me a poem about the sky, and then I'm going to click that arrow on the right hand side, and it's only going to take a couple of seconds, and ChatGPT is going to respond with a poem about the sky. So once you have this response, there's a handful of things that you can do. If you're happy with what the response is, you can copy, paste, and use the ChatGPT's response. Otherwise, you can ask it to do several things. For example, if I wanted this poem to be longer, I would ask it to extend this poem. And within seconds, ChatGPT is going to make this poem twice as long. Another thing I can do is have it shorten it or make it into a haiku. So a really easy way to copy and paste the text that the AI has sent you, you'll find a few different symbols below the text. So we have a little clipboard, we have a thumbs up, thumbs down, and a refresh option. And to copy, you'll click that little clipboard, and then if we want to paste this into our notes, we'll simply hit paste, and we have that text pasted right there. Another thing that you can do when it comes to this AI text is interact with these thumbs up and thumbs down buttons. So if you get a piece of text that you particularly like, you'll hit that thumbs up, and then you can submit feedback. This is going to help the AI become more accurate. It's going to help this personalized information become even more personalized for you. If there was a specific message you didn't like, you can go to the thumbs down option and submit the same type of response. Another thing that ChatGPT is really great for is language translation. So if you wanted something translated to a specific language, you'll simply type in that sentence and ask the AI to translate it for you. So for this example, I'm just going to ask the AI to translate this sentence into, and then the language that I selected was French, and then I just did a colon, "You are my best friend, I love you so much." And within seconds, ChatGPT has translated this into an accurate translation of French. Another thing that ChatGPT is great for is simply answering questions that you have. So sometimes and oftentimes Google doesn't have a specific yes or no answer. It takes a lot of searching and a lot of digging to get a specific answer that you're looking for. ChatGPT, however, cuts to the chase. It's going to give you a very accurate answer. In this example, I'm going to ask for a definition. What is sentiment analysis? And ChatGPT is giving a response within seconds again. Now, if I wanted this explained in a more simplified way, I would ask it to simplify. Can you simplify this? And there we are. Now it's given me a simplified definition of sentiment analysis, and I have a better understanding of what that is. Now, if I wanted to apply sentiment analysis, for this example, I took a general product review, and I'm going to ask the AI to perform a sentiment analysis on it. So the review is, I had an amazing experience with this company, the customer service was outstanding, and the product was exactly what I was looking for. And I'm asking the AI to perform sentiment analysis on this. I'm going to send it, and within seconds, ChatGPT tells me that this review expresses a positive sentiment. I mean, obviously this review is more obvious, but if, for example, you had a piece of text that you were having trouble analyzing the sentiment on, ChatGPT is just going to help you out. And then another really helpful example that I use quite a lot is text summarization. So text summarization is just going to shorten up the text that you have. I love to use this for if I want to summarize a piece of writing that I've just read, if I want it put in layman's terms to help me understand it better or something like that. ChatGPT is super helpful for this. So for this example, I've copied a essay on technology and I'm going to paste it in ChatGPT, and I'm going to ask this AI to summarize the text. So as you can see, this is a pretty lengthy essay, and so some people may find difficulty summarizing this themselves. And the ChatGPT has summarized it, and if I wanted their summarization to be shorter, I would just simply ask it to shorten it. And within seconds, it's simplified it to 4 or 5 paragraphs. I can continue to ask it to simplify it until it's, about 1 paragraph or even 1 sentence. There are obviously limitations when it comes to ChatGPT, especially ChatGPT 3.5, which I'm going to go over right now. So now I'm going to go over with you ChatGPT 3.5's limitations and challenges. So one limitation that it has is its lack of human insight. This basically just means that it's able to give a coherent response to a specific question or prompt, but it's not going to be able to give any deeper insight or complex answers that require a higher level of thinking. Another drawback is the fact that ChatGPT 3.5 has limited knowledge. This basically just means that ChatGPT can't access information beyond September 2021. So if you ask it questions about certain technologies, that have been recently created or news articles beyond September 2021, it's not going to be able to give you any answers whatsoever. It can give you educated guesses or answers based on the information it has, but it's not going to be able to give you accurate answers. For example, I'll ask it to give me a description on the newest iPhone. So as I said, it's going to respond saying that it doesn't have real-time information, so it can't actually give any latest details on the newest iPhone. You get the gist. Another limitation is that this AI doesn't understand context very well. So when it comes to jokes or sarcasm, it's not going to be able to respond with that back. It may have trouble understanding what you are implying. Another limitation would be that ChatGPT sometimes can't answer a question if it's worded a specific way. So one example that's been used would be if you ask ChatGPT, what's the best way to make money? But for example, you phrase it, how can I make money quickly? Another drawback is that it can't access the internet. This means that if you ask a question that wasn't already pre-programmed into its data to answer, then it's not going to be able to give an answer. ChatGPT 3.5 also has a tendency to create false information. It has a tendency to hallucinate and make up information in about 15 to 20% of its output, which is quite a bit if you think about it. So obviously take everything with a grain of salt. Don't rely too heavily on the information that ChatGPT is giving you. Also could be a potential bias in training data. So if there's only one person that's training this AI with a certain set of views, then this could lead the people who are using AI down a path of beliefs and a way of thinking that isn't true to them. So always do your own research and don't rely on ChatGPT to be giving you all the right answers. It can also be creating false information. There are also some security concerns with ChatGPT 3.5. One of these major concerns is data privacy and confidentiality. All data generated and stored by ChatGPT is kept confidential and secure, but it's still accessible by OpenAI. Another security concern is malicious actors attempting to manipulate or exploit the system in order to gain access to sensitive information or disrupt operations. OpenAI has implemented a couple of security measures, such as regular monitoring and auditing of its systems, as well as automated detection systems that can detect suspicious activity and alert administrators in real time if any potential threats are detected. There's also a two-factor authentication system for user accounts in order to further protect against malicious actors. Now I'm going to go over a quick comparison between that version and the premium version, which is ChatGPT 4. This premium version you do have to pay for, but I'm going to go over all of the features and all of the things that make it better quality and safer to use. So this version has enhanced conversational abilities, which you'll notice right away. It has improved understanding, responsiveness, and contextual comprehension. So this is what we were talking about before. So when it comes to irony or sarcasm, when you're talking to ChatGPT in the 3.5 version, it's not going to understand that, and you're often going to hit a wall with conversation, whereas ChatGPT 4 has much more contextual comprehension. You're going to find a much more engaging and natural conversational experience. GPT-4 incorporates advancements in language modeling, resulting in more coherent and contextually aware dialogue. It also demonstrates an improved ability to understand complex queries and generate high-quality responses across a wide range of topics. So as I talked about before, ChatGPT 3.5 obviously has potential biases, whereas ChatGPT 4 introduces refinements to mitigate potential biases and enhance ethical considerations. So after hearing the comparisons of ChatGPT 3.5 and ChatGPT 4, if now you've decided you want to upgrade to ChatGPT 4 or the premium account, I'm going to show you how to do this, and it's super simple. So you have your ChatGPT 3.5 option here, and then there's a down arrow right next to it. So you'll click that, and right below you'll find the ChatGPT 4, and you can upgrade to Plus. So you'll click the upgrade to Plus, and here it's going to go over all of the things that we went over. It's $20 USD a month. So you'll click upgrade to Plus. So it's basically just going to bring you to the payment page where you're going to enter your payment method. So first you're going to enter your credit card information. Otherwise you can choose Apple Pay. If you're going for the credit card method, you'll just scroll through and you're going to enter all of your information, including your billing address. Once you've entered all of that, you'll have the option to save your information at checkout. So if you wanted that information saved, you check that box and then put your phone number in. And then you're going to want to accept the terms and conditions at the very bottom here. If, for example, you were purchasing as a business, you would select that box as well. And then you'll put in your tax information. So that includes the business name, type of tax number, and you would enter that number below. And then if you were doing Apple Pay, you would just simply click that Apple Pay option and it would either scan through Face ID or you would enter your passcode. So once I've signed into the account that is subscribed to the premium version, it's going to say ChatGPT 3.5, but when you click that down arrow, you have that option to use ChatGPT 4. You'll click that and it's automatically going to switch that account for you. So once you're in this ChatGPT 4 model, the next thing you're going to want to do is enable the beta functions. So to enable the beta functions, you're going to click that down arrow and click on plugins. And up at the top right, you'll see that there's no plugins installed, but what you can do is go to the plugin store and download a bunch of different plugins. So in this plugin store, you can browse popular, new, and all, and you can even search plugins. ChatGPT 4 is generally a lot better just because there is no downtime when it comes to this model. So whereas in ChatGPT 3.5, as you saw, there can be some disconnection during the use of this AI. The 3.5 version was going to be affected if there's a lot of people using this model at the same time, so it can crash. You'll have to re-sign in several times sometimes, whereas ChatGPT 4 has no issues like that whatsoever. There's no downtime, it's always running, and you're almost never going to experience any crashes or anything like that. With ChatGPT 4, you can try new features as they're released, and you'll even get updates as to when those release dates are. Like we talked about in 3.5, the cutoff date for that AI's knowledge is September 2021, whereas ChatGPT 4 has all of the latest knowledge of the world and of what's going on today, whether that be latest releases of movies, technologies, current events, etc. So if I ask this AI to describe the newest iPhone model, it's doing research and it's searching up the newest iPhone, and it just did a quick search that took no more than 3 or 4 seconds, and it's sending me extensive description of the newest iPhone. As you can see with this model, it also is a much faster response rate. So anytime I ask it a question, especially if it doesn't have to search the web, it's going to respond almost immediately. So if I ask it to write me a poem about the sky, its response is going to be a lot more detailed. It's going to be a lot more thought out. And as we went over, it's going to have a much more human generated response. It understands context more. It's going to apply that context to what it's writing. And if you compare this poem to the one that the 3.5 version wrote, it's going to be a lot more accurate to what a human would write. And to compare this haiku with the 3.5's haiku, it's just generally going to be a lot more poetic as it's studied that more and it understands it more. And as we mentioned before, it can literally search the web in real time, so you can rely on these answers a little bit more than you would 3.5's version. The great thing about this AI version, this AI model, is that instead of going and doing your own research, this AI is actually going and doing the research for you in real time. It's constantly updating, it's constantly refreshing, and it doesn't have a biased point of view like 3.5 does. So you can just generally trust the responses a lot more and take them more seriously and rely on them a little bit more. So now let's go over all of the features of ChatGPT 4. Now that you know all of the technical stuff, we'll go over the fun stuff. So if you click the 2 lines in the top left corner, you're gonna have a bunch of different options here. So beneath ChatGPT, you'll find the Creative Writing Coach. When you click on this is going to be a creative writing specific AI. So unlike 3.5's version, where it kind of just gives you generalized answers in all areas, in ChatGPT 4, you actually get personalized AI coaches or AI teachers that actually specialize in a certain area. So this creative writing coach was trained to give you creative writing tips, techniques, critiques, all of that. I've sent a message. I'm stuck with my stories, character development ideas, and this creative writing coach has responded. It's basically asking me to give me more details about my story and specific characters I'm working on. This is really great for students who are in creative writing, who are writing prose, poetry, anything like that, who just need a little bit of a push inspiration-wise, or perhaps you've hit a wall, as most artists do. I definitely have myself, and I'll definitely be using this feature to help me just expand my thoughts and my creativity in a way that is personalized for me and the way I do create art. Beneath this, we have Data Analyst. So this is going to help you to analyze and visualize your data, and you're just going to drop in any files and it can help you analyze that. So for example, if you had a business and you wanted to analyze all of the data of that business to improve it and help sales, etc., this is going to be a really helpful way for you to do that, and it's going to minimize all of the work that you would do trying to analyze it yourself. Beneath this, we have Canva. Canva, as we know, is an app used to create and design portfolios, websites for businesses, social media, etc., logos. And so Canva has partnered with ChatGPT, which can now use it to have this ChatGPT create these logos and these quotes and these social media posts for you. This is also really helpful if you need to be pushing posts out constantly for a business and you just don't have time to be creating them all. This is also a really good idea to simply use for inspiration. So if you're hitting a wall with logos or things that you normally need a lot of creativity for, you can use AI Canva creation to help you create something that you can base your ideas off of. So for example, I said I need a poster for our online store's seasonal sale. So it's going to ask me a few questions. It's just going to ask me to specify anything that I want on the poster or things that I want highlighted on the poster so that I can have a more accurate idea and example. I want bold writing, lots of excitement, and bright, happy colors. So once I answer the few questions it's asked, it's going to ask me to allow ChatGPT and Canva to converse with each other to create this idea. So I'm going to click allow, and now it's going to begin creating this for me. Amazing. So if we go up here, it's given me 2 different options to choose from, and they've taken all of the notes that I've given them and applied them to these posters. So I can look at option 1, it's going to take me out of this, and it's going to bring me to the Canva website. So I'll have to log back in so that I can look at my posters. So here's the first one, and then here's the second one. So if I liked these, I could save them and use them. And it tells me at the bottom here that I can further customize these designs, and I had only given a few very simple instructions. The more in depth you go, the more accurate and the more artistic, creative, original these ideas are going to come out as. Now we can also explore GPTs. So if we click this option here, we have all of these sort of specialized GPTs like we were talking about. So they have a certain category or topic that they specialize in. So we have our top picks at the top here. DALL-E is a super popular one. This one is used to create images, logos. You see this often on other social media websites. People use DALL-E to create funny images, artistic images, all of the above. And you can pretty much do anything with this. So I'm going to go to the image generator. There are a few pre-typed ideas below if you can't think of anything. Again, the more specific you are, the more accurate and interesting your AI image is going to come out as. So, for example, I'm going to use one of these pre-typed options. I'm going to ask it to create an image of a futuristic city. I'm going to send that. And it's going to take several moments for this chat to create this image for me. So it's created an image of this futuristic city that I can click on, take a look. I can save this to my camera roll to use for something, for inspiration or as a phone background, etc. And then in these top picks, you can scroll through and there's a whole bunch of different ones that you can choose. Now, another really fun feature is that you can create your own ChatGPT. So you'll click the create button in the top right. It's gonna just give you some prompts that you'll follow on the screen. So essentially, you're just going to type in the type of ChatGPT that you'd like to create, whether that be a creative who helps generate visuals for new products or make a software engineer who helps format my code, a whole bunch of different options. This is going to make it really easy for you to have a personalized GPT that's going to help you with your main focus and the things that you are trying to achieve and get done and need help with. So if you find that there aren't any GPTs that kind of suit the type of work that you're doing and the type of assistance that you need, then creating your own GPT is a super, super helpful way to do that. And as I said, yeah, you're just going to follow these prompts, and the more specific you are, the more helpful it's going to be. So once you create the type you want, you go into configure, and this is where you're just going to name your GPT. You'll add a description and you'll add instructions. So it gives you ideas here. So what does this GPT do? How does it behave? And what should it avoid doing? You'll add some conversational starters. And for knowledge, you'll upload files, as many files as you can or want. And this is obviously going to expand your GPT's knowledge and the answers that it can give. And then beneath this, you're going to allow certain capabilities. So web browsing, for example, is going to be a really helpful one to allow. Otherwise, it's only going to be able to access the files that you upload. DALL-E image generation is also a really good capability to have. You can also select code interpreter, and you can create new actions as well. And then you'll go to preview, where you can preview your AI and ask it questions, make sure it has the type of responses you're looking for. So as I'm scrolling through here, there are just so many GPTs to choose from. We have all of our featured at the top here, and you can go and read the quick synopsis of each. So we went through Canva. There's the CK12 Flexi, which is a math and science AI tutor for middle and high schoolers. There's the Consensus, which is a research assistant. We have Sell Me This Pen, which is secondhand marketplace listings based on pictures. And then we have our trending here. So these are the ones that are being most used right now, which is we have our Consensus, the logo creator, Canva, Grimoire, which is essentially a coding wizard. We've got image generator and video GPT. And beneath this, we have all of these that are by ChatGPT, so you can read through these. We've got our DALL-E, Data Analyst, Hot Mods. Again, you can read through all of these, and you can also click See More to see all of them. As we keep scrolling, you'll find subcategories like writing, for example. And so all of these GPTs are under the writing category and have something to do with writing. And then beneath this, you'll find the productivity category. Beneath that, research and analysis category, programming, education, lifestyle, etc. You got a whole bunch to choose from with this ChatGPT 4 premium version. So now that I've gone over all of the ChatGPT 4 features and I've done a thorough comparison to 3.5 and 4, maybe you guys can decide which one you prefer using. Maybe you'll have an easier time navigating ChatGPT. It isn't super complicated once you know how it works, so I hope that this video helped you understand it a bit better. Alright, that's it for today's video, you guys. I hope you found it helpful, and I hope that you can use this information or maybe pass it on to somebody else who needs it. Thanks again for watching. I wish you luck in the future with ChatGPT, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video.